Yeah, I can't lie. These kind of all sound like that sounds like a miserable marriage, and those all sound like rules that you made up to benefit you. Just me? It's raining outside. Isn't that lovely? Thank you.
I'll be damned, your shit.
My stepdad was my top subscriber on my naughty website. Now I know what you're all thinking. Oh, stepdad fantasy, could have made content from it, blah, blah, blah. This man had been in my life since I was 11 years old and spent $2,000 on custom content every single video that I sent out. When I caught him, he denied it to all of his friends, and obviously my mum got rid of him straight away. But yeah, if you want to talk about family trauma, my stepdad watched me have sex with my partner for 2 months.
Well,
here is the custom content that my stepdad was requesting on my naughty site. Like I said in a previous video, we messaged every single day on the website, and he would make requests almost every single day.
every day? This gives a whole new meaning to every day I'm suffering.
One of them was to see the underwear that I was wearing every day. At the time, I was working still, so I was out of the house 5 days a week, and he would ask for pictures in the bathroom or the change rooms of wherever I was. He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home, that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower. He always wanted it to be on my bed or on the floor of my bedroom, which, mind you, he had access to this room every single day.
If you want an example of how patriarchy, toxic masculinity, and medical misogyny did no one any favors, look no further than the history of sildenafil. Sildenafil dilates blood vessels, among other things, and it was originally pioneered as a treatment for heart disease and angina. But in early tests, they realized that actually sildenafil really relieved period cramps and menstrual pain, and it also could give you an erection for up to 4 hours. So the pharmaceutical execs had a decision to make. Where would the funding go for sildenafil? Women and their period cramps? Nah, women have been fine dealing with menstrual pain. Heart disease and angina then? That's for everyone. Is it really that important though? Is it really that important to solve heart disease and angina when we could get erections that last for 4 hours? Anyway, so that's the history of Viagra.
Imagine thinking that it was a bad thing, by the way, for a man to say that it's their job to take care of women. Remember when that was noble? You remember? I don't remember. When the Titanic was sinking, I don't remember all the women complaining that they were on the boats first with the children. No. Were they like, no, I'm staying here. Men, you take the boats. I've got this. No, because that would be weird. That would make no sense, right? And now we're warped, right? So this now we've been programmed as women to think that when a man says it's my job to take care of a woman, you're supposed to be offended by that. Instead of saying to yourself, well, that's a fundamentally decent man that thinks that's his job and is going to work his butt off to make that happen. Warped society. Don't play the game. Guys don't like to think about women having been with anybody before them at all. Like no one at all. They prefer to just be like, the vagina was closed before they got there, and then it opened, and now it's in process. Like, they just can't. They don't want to visualize it. It's very uncomfortable for them to do that. So the more partners you've had, the more you start to seem like an open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 7-Eleven. They're not into it. It just is. Also, if they're looking at you seriously, they're saying, this could be the mother of my child, going to be pregnant. Like it's a clash. Like promiscuity and that family, it's just a clash in their head. They don't like it.
Who's gonna tell the that I would actually rather stay home and cook and clean than go and be a corporate baddie?
Is literally just being able to make the choice to do that. We love that for you. We just don't love that for everyone.
That's not true. You guys don't want women to stay at home.
No, we just don't want women to be forced to stay at home work and stay at home momming. That's very legitimate work, and it's actually still very undervalued, and it's unpaid labor. It's literally just about having a choice, because in the past, historically, don't know if you know this or not, we didn't used to have a choice. So it's literally the entire point.
But a lot of you shame stay-at-home moms and people who want to be more domestic.
I mean, you're not wrong. Feminism is an ideology, and it's often practiced pretty imperfectly, but it interests me why you're more mad about the imperfect practice of than you are, systemic misogyny and living under a patriarchy that harms pretty much everyone regardless of their gender identity. Well, I still don't agree with feminism. You know, the most irritating part about being a feminist is that you still benefit from all of the strides that feminists have made over the years. And I really wish that I could revoke some of your rights, but it's making me question things morally and ethically. So I'm just going to leave this conversation.
Now look at the difference between these two women.
For better,
For better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poorer.
for poorer.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Real made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles. I'll forever honor you, Miles, as the head of our home. In heaven, they hear. On earth, I declare and decree, I shall be a submissive wife unto you.
I don't know about you, but I know which one.
I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to find someone that makes them happy. I want everybody to live a beautiful life that they want for themselves. I don't wish ill on anybody, but I can't stand the delusion. Now we all got to sit here and we got to be like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, this is somebody who could get 95% of guys. And imagine going through life with that sense of delusion. Like we see it, and this is an extreme example, but when women walk around like that, imagine walking around thinking, I could get 95% of guys. How many guys are you telling no to because you think you're better than them? Are you? Or is it in your head? Just think about it. If you don't want to wind up alone, you have to have a realistic assessment of what you bring to the table, of your looks, of your capabilities, of what you're willing to do in a relationship, of your character. All of it.
Men always just want virgins that hadn't had sex with anyone and are really good girls. Like, you want younger women as well, so it's like that whole predator vibe. So
what if I said women are stupid, can't make money, short, and weak because they want a guy that makes more money than them, taller than them, more confident, ambitious, etc.? That would be ludicrous, wouldn't it? We don't shame female preferences. Okay? When a woman says, I want a man that's tall, makes money, etc., you go, girl, you deserve it. That's your preferences. If I say, I want a girl that's not a hoe, that has some sexual temperance, isn't going to embarrass me when I walk in a room, beautiful, young, etc. That's considered, oh, that's toxic and masculine. We demonize male preferences, but we don't demonize female preferences.
So what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
Men should understand that women often cheat, breaking hearts and trust without a second thought. They are not yours, and it's your turn to take care of them. Many men have experienced the pain of discovering their loved one has cheated on them, leaving a trail of broken hearts. It's shocking how easily loyalty and commitment can be tossed aside. MGTOW men are examples of integrity and character, and should be encouraged to be more responsible and respectful.
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? Like, I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps, if you're going to think this person is attractive, you're probably going to swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're going to swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like, it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I want to, like, go out in public, meet someone, like, in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other, and you're like, and then, you know, sparks fly. I just want to know where. Like, where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? Like, and single? Like, are you kidding me? And like, for the longest time, I just like wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm like, I'm 31. What is happening? Like, is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually like interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males. Anyways,
love comes to you when you least expect it. Shut up. I have been trying to not expect it for like 6 years. And also, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and she was like, well, like, are you, like, trying to, like, go out of your way to meet people? I'm like, no, because people are fucking telling me that it comes when you least expect it. So here I am, like, trying to convince myself I don't want it, and I'm just not expecting it so I can get it, and it's not happening. But then even when I go out of my way to, like, go on dating apps, it just never works because these people that I'm meeting aren't my cup of tea, are not wanting what I want. They just want a casual thing. And like, as someone who's never been in any kind of romantic entanglement, my first relationship is not gonna be a fucking casual relationship. And yeah, so like, what one is it? Should I put myself out there, or should I just pretend that I'm not like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend?
A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. It literally doesn't matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you are not giving him any effort.
A lot of guys are socially awkward.
I think you're a bit ignorant to like the average guy's experience. Consider this, right? The average guy today, his granddad had to put in a quarter of the work to get the kind of woman that is 4 times as amazing as the woman he's attracted.
Oh, you're talking
like
about
his grandmother was an amazing woman and a very, very feminine, natural woman, and his granddad really didn't have to do the kind of work he has to do right now as a young man in the Western world.
So you're talking about hoflation.
Yes, it's hoflation.
Hoflation. So modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were.
It's true. It's actually true.
If you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked. Because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there, and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that, and that is why women begin to panic.
You know what I want to talk about, you guys? So I live in New York, specifically Brooklyn, and I be outside, enjoying summer as I should. And I've been going to the block parties, all of that good stuff, the day parties has been a time. But the problem is the men just stare at you. They just stare at you the whole time. They don't approach you. They don't want to get to know you. They don't want to, oh, do you want to drink? It's just a staring contest the whole time. I'm trying to figure out, how am I supposed to meet my future husband if the men are not approaching? Because I'm not approaching a man. Like, it's giving the men want to be chased now. That's what it's giving, and I don't like it.
Because if I could explain to anybody how lonely pregnancy is, I can't put it into words. I'm just so frustrated with how I feel. Now you
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
Why a man keeps you around but doesn't commit. This is straight from the mouths of all of my closest guy friends. I did the research for you guys so you don't have to. Here's the key factor. Attention and commitment from a man are 2 very different things. Attention is really cheap and it's really easy for him to give. And a lot of times women confuse that as like sincere interest in pursuing a relationship. So therefore, according to my guy friends, If a guy is texting you all the time, it doesn't mean he eventually wants to make you his girlfriend, necessarily. A lot of insecure men will surround themselves with a lot of women because it feeds their ego. It makes them feel better about themselves to have women constantly texting them, constantly surrounded by them, constantly wanting to hang out with them. It's bad vibes. Like, I'll say that outright. It's like boy vibes for sure. But that's just to demonstrate that attention does not equal commitment. Unfortunately, women who don't love themselves or value themselves will accept these little scraps of attention, and then it almost like feeds the ego monster in these men, because they're like, I don't have to do anything more. Like, this is enough. I text her at 3 a.m. and she comes over. Like, why would I take her out on a date? Unfortunately, that's the way these men's brains work. That's why I would really advise, if you are talking to a guy and he isn't asking you out, like to meet on a dinner date within a week of you talking, a week of you meeting, then he's going to waste your time. Like, cut it off at the root before you even catch feelings. It's not like necessarily a man should be committing to you super quickly, because you don't want a man who's just looking to fill a void either. But you should look at the way that he is acting in his life, because it's going to tell you if he's a respectable man. Like, is he taking you to dinner? Is he telling you he's not looking for something serious? Is he drinking and partying excessively? Like, that's not a guy who's likely looking for a serious commitment. The only way to get off this merry-go-round with these boys is to say stop. That is the only way. You have to take a step back. If a guy isn't looking for a commitment, I think unfortunately, like, the narrative that women have been brought up with is like, if you were pretty enough, if you were smart enough, if you were this enough, then he would commit to you. But you have to just nix that thought in your head, because it's not true. A boy is not looking for a commitment with anyone. Like with Miss Universe or the girl in his hometown. He's not looking for a commitment, period. It's not about you. Boy doesn't know a good thing in front of him. A top tier man does. A top tier man who's looking for a commitment does. Clear out the space. If a guy isn't looking to commit, if all the red flags are there and you've been ignoring them, cut him off. Because I'm telling you, you think in your head, you spend enough time together, he'll get attached, da-da-da-da-da. It's not going to happen. You cannot change a man. A man has to want to change for you. And you will break your own heart wanting that from him. If he doesn't want to change, he won't. Love yourself more than the idea of this man loving you. This man choosing you. Choose yourself instead. And train yourself to see his lack of commitment as disgusting. Like, his lack of intention, it really is gross, honestly. These boy vibes, disgusting. It's disgusting. A top tier man who holds emotional space for you, who takes you to dinner, who calls you routinely, who's consistently earning your trust, train yourself to only desire that. You do not have to prove your worth to anybody, because you're that.
So last night I ended things with a guy that in one of my previous videos I had referred to as the most intentional man I've ever spoken to. It really does suck because he truly is amazing, has a lot of the things I'm looking for in a person, but we hung out like 6 or 7 times and I just wasn't feeling it. And it's just really a shame because he really is a great guy. If he had asked me for more details, I really don't know that I would have been able to give him many besides that shame, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just the name of the game.
Boyfriend, so.
Wait, ex-boyfriend?
Yep.
She calls us friends, but I don't consider us friends.
What do you guys consider each other?
Technically still figuring it out, but I'm the one she calls when she needs to cry. I've tried.
It's a work in progress. So is everything.
It's one work in progress.
So you guys are just trying to work on things?
See how it goes.
I'm trying to work on things.
If he gave you a guilt-free pass to sleep with anybody in the world, would you use it?
Yeah.
On who?
Zac Efron, Josh Bowman, some celebrity, hot celebrity. You turn that down? Couldn't do it.
Alright, what if it was all the way around?
I know what I'm worth. One night with one celebrity doesn't change who I am.
So you wouldn't use it?
Even
There's
if I
no
gave
point.
it to you?
No. Because it sounds like a trap. If your significant other is willing to give you a one night stand with anybody in the world, it sounds like a trap for your loyalty. Fuck that.
That's cool.
What's your price?
I'm 23, so like I'll say at least like 10K.
Let's say
50 million. Probably around there.
10K?
Yeah.
What's your price, Cat?
You get it out 3,000-4,000. I'll be all right. I'll be out here. I'm easy. Just give me money. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just give me my shit so I can go.
Okay. What's your price?
My price is like 15K to 20K.
Like 50K.
I either fuck for love or for money, and currently it's been for money.
Oh, so you fucked him for money? Good thing. Yeah. Oh my god, thank god.
What about money?
Money is not important.
Would you marry an ugly man?
I've married one.
No, I would admire one anything else. What do you think?
Disgusting.
Why?
Any girl with any decency would never walk in the street with a man. Disgusting.
Well, I think it's just a gimmick, and I don't think any girl in their right mind would wear it.
I believe, the man is supposed to be the breadwinner.
Okay.
I would like to talk about, maybe having a weekly allowance or something.
How much was the how much would be So how much is a weekly allowance?
Like my last relationship, he was giving me like $2,000-3,000 every week.
Isn't it funny how some women associated providing men with money and money only? Whatever happened to a man providing information, education, guidance, advice, or even behavior improvement? Do you know why some women consider a man giving them money being the provider of the relationship? Because that is the only thing they would accept from a man. A lot of modern women, they don't want no guidance. They don't want to be told that they need to do better as the female in that relationship. How could that woman from the previous clip, I'm not judging her, how could she be an asset to his life? How can she bring improvement to his life? Actually goes for a lot of women out there. A lot of women, they are so cool and so content with spending a man's money that he clearly works hard for and don't even pack the man's lunch. Girl, please. These women, they don't even want to master the basics in a relationship. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do none of that. They just want to sit there, be pretty, and spend the man's money. And what kind of world do you live in, honestly? And especially, what are you going to do when you get old? Whose money are you going to spend then? You're going to be alone and ugly.
At 7, so I would prefer someone who's over 6 feet. Honestly, definitely over 6 figures.
You gotta be 6 feet, 6 figures. So a man that paid $80,000, that's not
enough. Not at all.
Why is $80,000 not enough, bro?
I know me. I know my lifestyle. That's just not going to cut it. We're not gonna go out to eat how I want. We're not gonna be able to travel like how I want. We're not gonna be. It's just gonna be too many limitations, and I don't like that.
Okay, so where does she want to go out to eat that's going to require a man to make 6 figures? Are they going to be eating Salt Bay steaks 3 times a week? And he has to be 6 feet tall. No, not 5'11", 6 feet tall. It's the 666. These modern women want the 666. That's 6 figures, 6 feet tall with the 6-pack. And 80K is not enough. Nope, has to be 6 figures. Nothing less, because that would be breaking the 666. You have to keep the 666.
My shit first, so I don't know why you
Get all your stuff and get out.
He wasn't the one to say that shit.
Deuces.
Deuces to you, bitch.
Yeah, get out. You already kicked out. I'm going back to Angie.
No, you not.
I told you. Yeah, I'm going back to Angie.
No, you not.
Your stuff and go. Angie's coming back. She lasted probably, 5 days? A week, 7 days. And she's already tooted and booted.
I would go to these frat parties. I would
Guys, whatever. There was this one night though, and I was like, hey, you know, I talked to them all individually. I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna just be waiting in this closet. I don't even care about the party. I'm gonna be waiting in this closet. It's their laundry room, and just like come in whenever and f me. Like I'll just sit here and be like a human doll, basically.
So anyone, you didn't care who?
No, I didn't. I was like, just I'll be in this closet. Like come fuck me if you want. If you get home. I was on birth control. I let them all come at me.
Huh? She belongs to the streets. Something is wrong with you.
Whew. Let me just get the door for you. Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes. Would you want me to open the door for you? Look, you're recording me? Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. What's the problem with that? This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant? You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them. Oh yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah. Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
What number employee are you of Tesla?
I would say I'm probably in the 300s.
How good was their offer?
Gave us a lot of stock options to start with. I mean, they gave us 40,000 options. My strike price was 90 cents.
No. Your strike price was 90 cents?
Was my strike price. Oh yeah, I was like, at 90 cents, who's going to take them seriously? I mean, because I surely wasn't. I mean, I loved the job, but I didn't take it. At 90 cents, who cares? Well, I got $40,000. Whoop-dee. You know, that's all it was back then, but that's $50 million today.
Oh my gosh. So what did you do with those options?
Well, I kept them, and then I went through a divorce, and the divorce lawyer convinced the judge that the Tesla was going to go out of business in 2013, and they sold them all.
No. That's the most expensive attorney I think I've ever.
Oh, yeah, but it was, you know, like whatever, 60 grand or something at the time, but now that's $50 million. I actually did some research to see if I had a case against the lawyer, but I don't. Even though he convinced the judge that they were going to go out of business and we're going to have to sell the stock to pay his lawyer fees.
How often does that keep you up at night?
Did I ask you to wash the dishes?
Man, I come from Jamaica for wash dishes and wash car. I come from Jamaica for make money.
Yeah? Well, I'm working, and I asked you to wash the dishes. Were you still interested in your green card?
Yeah, babes, I'm going to wash the plate them right now.
Yeah. That's what I thought. And wash my car when you're done, too.
Okay, babe.
When you make your claims or you shoot your shots, and a woman comes down and she marries you without even trying to get to know you, you're saying to yourself, I hit the jackpot. But sometimes you didn't hit the jackpot. What you're going to find when you finally arrive wherever foreign country you want to be at is that a lot of you are going to be married to people who are mentally ill. Now, not to be disrespectful or anything, but in our country they'll say mad. So you marry a woman, and when you're in Jamaica, you're on your best behavior, or she's on her best behavior until you reach. And some of you, after you arrive in these foreign countries, you wish that you had stayed in Jamaica and suffered because the hell they put you through. So here's what I'm saying to you. If you're going to go on these impromptu, marital agreements, please know that when you go to foreign, you have to be prepared to walk some dogs. You have to be prepared to wash some underwear. Now, Jamaican men, that's not to say that they won't do these things for their partner, but they don't want to be forced to do it. And a lot of men, when they arrive, they realize that they have to sleep in the same bed with dogs. So a lot of men, after they go through the immigration process and they arrive and they're so excited when they come, they stumble upon what appears to be prison.
Green Card Bros. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.